Look at that, the UL Cub. Listen to that Rotax. Let's check it out. Translucent, lightweight fabric.
Rotax, buddy, what's up on?
Quinter, you digging on this Rotax all right?
Oh my goodness. It's
Yeah, a game changer, huh?
crazy. It's crazy. 160 horsepower with the turbocharged Rotax 916 IS.
Whew.
17,000 plus feet, 160 horsepower. The turbo kicks in. It's like flying that P-51. You better have right rudder, baby, because it goes you're like a rocket ship.
Oh man, and what do you got for weight on this ultralight?
930 pounds.
Wow.
930 pounds with the bush wheels, as you see it set up. It's like the standard Cub's got 25 gallons of fuel, 12.5 in each wing. Man, Brad dropped it off yesterday, so I'm still learning about it. And I'm still blown away by the takeoff power. Because you give it 100% power, that turbo kicks in, and it puts you in your seat like you're driving a Lamborghini.
Man, and that's right here at Truckee at 6,000 feet.
Juan, you're going to be blown away. This is no exaggeration. I'm not a salesperson. I just, like, holy mackerel. I mean, there's nothing that compares. And what they've done with that Rotax engine, from what I know now, is the testing that they've done with the MT propeller and whatnot is extensive. And it's a match made in heaven. I mean,
so we got the MT constant speed prop we're looking at here.
Yeah, and there's no adjustments inside. I mean, it takes care of itself.
Wow.
And so it just, I mean, you push the power button, you turn it on, and it's ready to fly.
What do they think? We're a bunch of Cirrus pilots or something?
I mean, Juan, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. Check this thing out. I mean, it's a gorgeous aircraft.
Yeah, great fit and finish. This is the Rotax lightweight covering, right?
It is, yeah.
MT constant speed.
You know, I believe so, as I'm learning, so don't quote me on some of this.
Yeah. It's all new.
It's all new to me.
And the big advantage of this is this kind of future-proofs aviation, because this doesn't need the 100 low lead fuel, right?
Well, that's it. You know, you can take avgas and everything else on here. We're running low lead in this because that's what we have here in Truckee. But the neat thing is that here in Truckee, so my Cub, you know, is that 180 horse, you know, Titan engine. On a 9,000 foot DA day, we're maybe
probably,
what, 120, 130 horsepower for lucky.
Yeah.
You know, and I can't do the math that fast in my head, but I always guesstimate, well, 180 horse, it's 9,000, 9,500.
You're probably down to 60% or something.
Yeah, so I'm guessing I'm 120 horsepower, 130 horsepower. And I can still get off the ground in 150, 200 feet in my Cub with 35s on as it sits. You know, it's 1,020 pounds on 35s. This is 930 pounds. You and I can fly this baby at 9,500 feet here, density altitude, and we're going to get off the ground in 100 feet. It's crazy.
Two up.
It's crazy.
Man.
I'm blown away. It's Behringer brakes, you know.
What's the gear we're looking at here?
Acme shocks. You know, I'm not positive what this gear is. If this is the CubCrafters gear, I believe it is. With the Acme shock setup.
You got the single exhaust out there.
Yeah,
okay, and we got a
standard fuel sumps, you know, like you would on any other aircraft. I'll be honest, I have always been, you know, that Rotax clunk. You know, I had my Highlander, remember? And
oh yeah,
I was just too big for it. And I always have had that, that clunk, 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 and I just like the sound of a real engine, right?
Yeah.
My mind's been changed, and that's not a sales pitch. I get in it, it's clean, it's smooth. Prove me otherwise. I mean, it's...
What kind of RPM we looking at cruising around? 5,800 or something?
Yeah, 5,800, 6,000.
Yeah.
You know, 95, 98% power.
Yep.
You can go 100% power for 5 minutes continuous. Then you bring it back. But we run around a cruise at 98%. And again, you know, my quotes here are from what I remember Brad telling me yesterday and what I've done with my limited.
We'll straighten it out with little texts on the bottom.
Yeah, just to make sure I'm sure, but I think I'm pretty darn close.
And then, of course, all that's run through a gear reduction drive for the prop to get the prop RPM down. And we're talking a single turbocharger. Yeah. LED
I'm just
lights.
a dumb pilot.
Yeah, he doesn't know anything. He's just a stole bum. It's all traditional Cub back here, but what do we got up here in the panel? A nice, what's that Garmin?
That's your G3?
G3 Garmin, all right. And then flight systems at all your engine monitor over there on the left?
Engine monitor tells you everything that you need to know, what you're looking at. You can go through, you can see all your oil pressures, you know, RPM, etc. There's no both tanks on this, and so you
left or
fly
right
it and fill it, and you fly the heavy tank obviously first.
All right, registered experimental, tow brakes, and then your classic carbon Cub lightweight interior and a sling seat in the back. So there's your checklist. Aux fuel pump on, 5 minutes max, 100%. All right, 98 or less on the cruise. Aux pump on for takeoff and landing.
Yeah, and it's right here. You know, you flip that on in the event you have a fuel pump failure, that'll kick in for you.
Great. And where's our elevator trim at?
Elevator trim is the right here.
Oh,
on
it's
the
electric.
stick.
Yeah, I can't find it. No wonder I can't find
and
it.
I have that on my stick. You don't have that in the back seat.
Got it. Okay, nothing.
This will
back
be
here.
your stick because I'm going to fly back there.
All right. And then flaps right there.
Yeah. Got about 20 pounds of gear in the back. You know, I mean, the cleaning kit, the oil, extra set of headset here for us.
Yeah, look at that translucent covering, man.
So
Nice.
you know
and lightweight.
what's neat about this is when Brad gave it to me, because I have this Cub for a couple weeks to fly it and give us our honest feedback, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there's been guys flying this. Bruce Graham came and flew it. We went around, did a bunch of off-airport stuff. There's been others, and I told Brad, I'm going to take care of it. Not going to fly it in the sagebrush. I don't want to rip up the tail feathers and whatnot. And he said, Kevin, go fly this the way you would. Of course, I'm still not going to go take it into the sagebrush because I don't want to rip it up. But going around and knowing the people that have flown this, there's no rips and tears. And we think this Rotax fabric is a little stronger than your standard fabric that comes on the traditional aircraft.
And the cool thing about Rotax is there's no paint. It's like
No
monocoat from our model airplane days. You iron it on and you shrink it, and it's already got the color pigment in it.
And correct me if I'm wrong, Juan, but what Brad and I were talking about this yesterday, you can get the high gloss on this with paint, and that's going to add about 35 pounds, 40 pounds. And so what's the point?
Yeah.
This is bright yellow.
Yep.
It's nice. You can get it in an array of colors. I thought about doing Rotax on my Cub when I built it, and I went with the CubCrafters fabric and kept it silver and then put vinyl on it to keep it light because I didn't want the paint. But even that, you have to put that silver paint on, and you know, paint is weight.
Yep.
So you figure you put the high gloss finish, which a lot of guys like, that's another 35, 40 pounds. No point. So Rotax comes in yellow, vinyl strip.
Classic Cub yellow with the lightning bolt. Gotta have that.
Flap gap seals back here.
Yep. And these are the, what do you call them? The later model ailerons. Yep. So you got the better handling characteristics.
Yeah, that was something, and I think because it's new, my Cub obviously is so broken. It was my first comment to Brad, because he said this is the same that I have on mine, but they're a little stiff. But I think it's new. I think it's new, and we can grease those up. But that's not a bad thing. It feels like a new airplane. Feels like a new pair of shoes. You know, you put a new pair of shoes on and
you gotta break them in a little.
Break them in until they feel good. New pair of Levi's don't feel good.
It takes me about almost 100 hours to make a new airplane to me feel like an old familiar shoe.
Yeah, here's a good one too. People that fly these airplanes, this is a reason why you don't top your tanks off to the very top. This isn't my doing. Brad pointed this out yesterday because I haven't put any fuel in this yet. But we never want to fill it up to where it's at the very, very top. You take off, you're going to get spill and residue, and that's all this is. So for you guys watching, don't fill them up. You can leave it about that much shy.
Can you get that stain off of there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I can get
with
it
that new UL fuel, I don't know, man. The stuff down there in the Bay Area. All right, look at the fit and finish on these CubCrafters. Just exquisite. Billet aluminum. Oh, the latest in LED strobe technology, ADS-B, in and out. And what are we sporting here? Some
Alaska bush wheels.
Alaska bush wheels. What size are these? 31s, 20,
these
29s?
I should know that. I think these are 29s looking at them. Yeah, they're 29.
29s, yep.
Yeah.
That's good. That's plenty.
That's plenty.
More than enough. And a pretty stock looking maul tail wheel in the back.
I mean, you don't need
850s, man. You
need
guys.
35s.
Duh,
You gotta have
850s.
fat tires.
No, you just
These little training wheels are cute, but
no.
930 pounds. You
I
know?
put some 850s on there and get probably 140 knots up at altitude.
Yeah. Tail wheel, you know, I would transition to Tony's TK shock here in the back or that Acme tail stinger. Either one, they're both great. You know, you got Acme up front.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even want to get into that debate because they're both doing great things for me.
And so what about landing performance distance-wise?
Well, myself, I've made about 7 landings in this thing now, and I can promise you that every landing's probably 80 to 100, 125 feet tops.
That's Kevin math, so that's probably 180. We'll see.
Jesus, you're giving me a hard time. That's real.
Oh, yeah.
No joke. I just landed behind you waiting for that big heavy
Oh,
husky to get off the runway.
Man.
And I was floating there at about 35 mile an hour indicated, and I just went plop, plop, and rolled. I think it was every bit of, there was no more than 100 feet. You and I together will be 125, 130 feet. No question.
Right. Well, let's go see.
No question.
So how's that fit back there if you're teaching? You got plenty of room?
Oh yeah, it fits like my Cub. You know, anything in the back seat of these Cubs is tight. It's just what it is, no matter what you're in. But I got plenty of room. I'm 6'3", 225 pounds on a good day.
And you got all the controls you need except for the flaps
And
back
the only
there.
thing I don't have is flaps and trim control. Your trim control's on your stick here, you
Got
know,
it.
fore and
Electric,
aft, as
yep.
you see. Basic flap control. You know, CubCrafters invented the overhand flap handle.
Yeah.
And
Keep your eye on the target.
Yeah.
And you
nice.
got toe brakes right there.
I got my toe brakes. I'm all set for you.
All right.
But you're a professional pilot. I'm not going to need it. The biggest thing that you're going to notice, Juan, on this is that it doesn't like to slow down.
Oh, that's
so
like the Husky.
We're going to watch the airspeed and make sure that we get obviously within a good range, and you're going to come across the numbers somewhere around 45, 50. We don't need to land fast, and you can bleed that speed off, and you'll hear this stall horn going off. Again, if it was mine, I'd probably pull the circuit on it, but you're going to hear the stall horn. You still got another 5+ before the thing wants to drop out of the sky. We're going to go be safe, and you'll come in and land this thing. The big thing is you got 3 notches of flaps for every position, you know, downwind 10 degrees, right at about 70 miles an hour, come around the corner. Oh, I like to say 55, 60. There's no sense going fast. Come over the numbers, 45, 50, feel it out. You know, we're going to err on our speeds so that we're a little faster for this first time just to keep things safe. But I don't want to be touching down any more than 45, 50 mile an hour. 50 is way too fast.
Save them tars. First impression getting in this thing, it's a pretty big tub. You got a lot of room in the front seat here. A lot of room. And great visibility over the nose. And an adjustable seat. Both height and distance from the pedals.
Takeoff really better. Get up here on the semi first.
drag practice.
All right, Juan. So initial reaction, buddy. Holy cow!
Well, I'm gonna have to edit that first impression there. When Kevin was filming that first takeoff there, it was freaking astonishing. I kind of was easing into the power nice and gentle, and Kevin said, "Give her the beans," and wham! That thing just exploded off of the runway, more like a helicopter than an airplane. It's just an unbelievable launch off of the carrier deck. So you get used to it maybe in the next couple of takeoffs, but the punch is definitely just launches you forward like a small carrier takeoff. And that's what the two of us, big boys, over 200 pounds each, and here at Truckee,
8,700 density altitude today.
right now, 8,700 feet, just launches this thing into the air. I mean, it's more like a helicopter takeoff than an airplane takeoff.
We were talking 100-foot takeoffs. I mean, what do you think it was, honestly?
I don't know. I couldn't get we were gone climbing at 1,000 feet a minute before I get the throttle all the way in. I have no idea, man.
Rotax 916, baby. There's nothing like that thing. Holy cow.
It explodes. And then as far as landing and handling characteristics, the plane's brand new. It's pretty stiff on the cables right now. Maybe if we loosen up the cables a little bit, get a little less stiff on the controls. But ground handling, landing characteristics, even in this gusty wind condition, piece of cake on the ground. This thing tracks so nice and straight on the ground. And it's a kite in the air. With the thermals, you're just going to float in thermal like crazy in the air. But if you need to get down, side slip, or the flaps, once you figure out the little finesse on the CubCrafter flap handle, piece of cake. A real easy tail dragger to manage and handle on the grounds in the wind. This is going to be one expensive ride, man. Husky for sale, Cub for sale, Piper Cub.
That husky, that's a real nice husky. It's just been listed.
That's right. Get them while they're hot.